Hello, 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 hello. My name is Valerie C. Thompson. I was created to encourage, inspire, and uplift the masses. How are you this evening? As I stated last week, I would be back on at 7:22 Pacific Standard Time on this day. And so here we are. Again, my name is Valerie C. Thompson. I was created to encourage, inspire, and uplift. I am the creator of Own Your Truth and Rise, wherein I help women dismantle the lies that keep them from truth. The lies that keep them from truth. So, the program that I have for you, the ones who are in a narcissistic relationship or the ones who have left a narcissistic relationship and have a desire to go back, you can't go back. What God has given me is the art on how to leave a narc. How did that come about? Because I was in a narcissistic relationship, which I had labeled as domestic violence forever, and then I found out, no, this is a narcissistic relationship, and I found myself in a tangled web for about 15 plus years of back and forth, just like that song says, back and forth. So I want to help women come out and stay out. I want to help women learn how to love themselves from the inside out. I want to help women understand what it means to truly go inward and do the work of healing those broken pieces. We got to recognize the red flags when we meet someone who is narcissistic. We got to recognize those red flags, and we got to say, you know what? I recognize this, and I'm not going to get into this. But we sometimes get in those relationships or those situationships because we don't trust what we feel. We don't trust our truth. We don't trust the spirit. We don't trust our intuition. And so tonight, I just want to talk a little bit about recognizing when you meet someone or when you're in a situationship and you meet that person and you feel something that don't feel right, there's a reason why you feel that. And I remember feeling that long ago before I got married. I remember feeling it, but I ignored it. Right. And then we get into stuff and then we wonder why it doesn't work because it wasn't supposed to work in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a lesson to learn if you find yourself in a narcissistic relationship. The one thing is learning how to love yourself and also doing the healing work. Why do we as women, and I know men do it too, but I'm talking to the women, why do we stay in the toxic relationships, right? Why do we stay in them? So I'm just going to throw some questions out there. And if something resonates with you, feel free to think about it, journal about it. But I'm going to throw these questions out there. Why do we as women keep going back? I know I kept going back because I truly didn't love myself. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I could make it on my own without someone that I had been with for so long. And it's also trauma bonding. You know, you get with somebody and you bond with them through your trauma, never from a healthy place. But you don't know that until you know it, right? It also has a lot to do with not understanding your worth, not knowing your value. So on this journey, it's imperative, again, if you are in a narcissistic relationship and you want to come out, understand that you can, but you have to take the necessary steps to do the work. You have to start learning how to love yourself. That means saying no. That means setting boundaries. That means taking time for yourself, getting still, getting quiet, journaling, praying, meditating, whatever it takes to love yourself and truly spending time with yourself, which is spending time with God. And for some, you might even have to fast. It's also learning how to forgive those who have harmed you, because often when we are in narcissistic relationships, we can internalize those things because the narcissist projects his or her fears onto you and you internalize that. So you got to forgive them, forgive yourself. My friend, I have a friend that said, you know, sometimes when you're in something like this, you either want to kill them or you feel like you might want to kill yourself. And I'm laughing, but it's true, because depending on the level of toxicity that you're in, it could be so draining. And I'm talking about draining your energy, draining your mind, and you don't know if you're going left or right, right? But I'm here to encourage you tonight to go straight. God has a purpose and a plan for your life. It's not happenstance, right? That you are in what you're in. There's something to learn. Again, learning how to love yourself and learning how to have self-control over your emotions, learning your worth, learning your value. Okay. You will never know that if you stay. It's very challenging. So again, I've been on the journey. I'm very grateful and very proud of myself. And I say this because there was a time when I thought, oh my God, I'm never coming out of this tangled web. But God truly gave me a blueprint. God truly gave me a roadmap. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about it, because a lot of people are in it and don't want to talk about it because they're embarrassed, they're ashamed, or they're in denial. I believe I was in denial, because you have to understand too, when you're in something like this, it's good sometimes, right? It's not all bad. But I remember there was a pastor that said, when it's good, it's the breaks in between hell. So the reality is, it's always drama. It's always some form of abuse. And I'm talking about verbal, usually, and emotional abuse is truly, I feel like, one of the highest forms of abuse when you're in a narcissistic relationship. But of course, it could be physical, it could be financial, it could be spiritual. There's so many different forms of abuse. So I'm encouraging you all, if this is something that resonates with you, reach out to me. Again, I have a 90-day program on how to leave a narc, because truly you have to get creative. Truly, you got to dig in, you got to go a little deeper, and you got to thank God for showing you how to come out, right? Because it's a tangled web. So again, I just want to encourage you. God bless you. Stay strong. Continue to pray and continue to believe. Continue to trust God that there is something better for you on the other side, because when you come out, purpose awaits. Not that being in a narcissistic relationship is not part of your purpose, because again, you're going to learn from it. But coming out, owning your truth, and rising is because God has something greater for you. Remember, we all go through things. We go through trials and tribulations so that we can learn, and then we can share, and we can teach, and we can reach some other people that may still be going through, right? And we pull them out. That's what it's all about. So I understand why people call me Valerie the Encourager, because while I was going through, I had to encourage myself. So not only did I encourage myself, but I encouraged the masses. And so I'm grateful for what I went through. And now I am here on the other side, and I want to give back. So again, if you are in a narcissistic relationship, or if you have left one, but you feel like you want to go back, please reach out to me, because I'm telling you, don't go back. And I say that because things never change. Like you can't change the person, but you can change yourself. And it's up to us to create new habits. It's up to us to, again, start doing the necessary work internally, getting still, getting quiet, and also staying with yourself for a little while. Sometimes people, you jump in and out of relationships and you've not healed. So we've all heard the saying, you attract the same type of person, right? But that person is just dressed differently, right? You getting the same gift. The gift is just wrapped differently. And so we have to remember that, because it's common and it happens often. If you don't do the healing work internally, you will attract the same thing. Okay. And many people are in narcissistic relationships, but they're in denial. So I would love to work with you. Again, reach out to me and we can work together. I am here to support you on this journey, the art of leaving a narc. God bless you. Continue to do the work. Continue to thank God for the blueprint. Continue to press and to push and to move forward, and to continue to love yourself. That's really what it's about. Loving yourself. Sometimes when you're in these relationships or situationships, you will become emotionally drained and you don't even know how to take care of yourself, right? Self-preservation is first. You got to take care of yourself and understand that you are here for a reason. There's a purpose. God has a magnificent plan for you to move in purpose, on purpose, for God's huge purpose. So that's truly what I wanted to come on and share tonight. Again, the art of leaving a narc. There is an art to it. You don't ever have to go back. And if you feel anxious, if you feel something in your gut that makes you want to go back, understand that there's healing that still needs to take place. Because if the situationship is not serving you, there's no need for you to be there. Yes, it's challenging, but yes, you can come out. I bear witness to that. So again, my name is Valerie C. Thompson. I was created to encourage, inspire, and uplift. And maybe this message is not for you. That's fine. Please like it. Please share it, because you never know who's going through it. Again, many people are going through, but they don't talk about it. They don't want to talk about it because they are embarrassed. They are in denial. And quite frankly, they may not know how to come out, because again, it's like a tangled web. But the reality is healing needs to take place. And when you understand that and get that thought in your mind to shift your mindset, understanding that you were created to move in purpose, on purpose, for God's huge purpose, understanding that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, created in the image of God, understanding that God had a purpose and a plan for you while you were yet in your mother's womb. And the purpose and the plan is not for you to be in toxicity. It's not for you to be in a narcissistic relationship, and maybe for a while so you can learn something, but it's a season to come out because God has more for you. So reach out to me. God bless you. I look forward to working with you, and I thank God that purpose awaits. There's so much more for you. There's so much more. God is in the business of blessing. God is in the business of blowing our mind when we move in purpose, on purpose, and continue to keep our faith. You never know what's going to happen. We got to stay excited. We got to stay expectant, and we got to keep believing. Not to mention this. Now I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get off. Understand that if you come from a family wherein maybe you witnessed your mother or your father who was a narcissistic person, 9 times out of 10, that's probably what you are drawn to. That's what you are attracted to. Again, I grew up in domestic violence watching my mother, so I observed and I absorbed that. So when I got married, that's kind of what I was attracted to, unbeknownst to me. But one thing I know for sure is that I am the generational breaker, right? Like I'm breaking generational curses and strongholds. That's what I want to say. I'm breaking systems and patterns that were relevant in my family lineage, meaning my daughter is not going to go through that, or my son's not going to go through that, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. So understand, you may be going through, but maybe you're the one that's called to stand in the gap to break the systems and the cycles that have riddled your family for a while, because it doesn't just come from anywhere. You understand me? Somebody went through it before you. So maybe you're the one that's called to break the systems and the patterns and the cycles in your family. So you got to know that absolutely no weapon formed against you shall ever prosper, not against you and not against your children and not against your grandchildren. So I thank God today, tonight, for giving you the courage, for giving you the strength, for giving you the wherewithal to create the change that you desire if you are in a narcissistic situationship. It's time to come out. God has so much more for you. Again, my name is Valerie C. Thompson. I was created to encourage, inspire, and uplift. If this message is not for you, that's fine, but share it, because maybe it's for someone else. This is very touchy. Like, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's real. It's real. So God bless you. Peace be with you and your family. Own your truth and rise. God has so much more on the other side for you. Purpose awaits. I will talk to you soon.